Making Jaws was a disaster that almost never made it to theaters. Because the budget almost doubled, the shooting schedule almost tripled, and when the shark puppet went in the water, it did the last thing you want a fake shark to do.
Just sunk like a stone, didn't it?
Spielberg was in trouble, and John Williams' film music reveals 5 musical secrets that saved the movie and makes the unseen shark so terrifying. Starting with Spielberg's choice to use an orchestra. That might be expected today, but keep in mind this was 50 years ago, in 1975. Orchestras had gone out of fashion, and stayed that way until after Williams scored another little movie with an orchestra. I forget the name. As an avid soundtrack collector, Spielberg insisted on an orchestra. Plus, it solved a problem. After the malfunctioning shark was kept mostly out of sight, he knew they needed a way to signify the shark, to have a musical identifier. That musical identifier is John Williams' iconic theme, which is oddly simple. Famously, when Spielberg first heard the theme,
I thought he was joking.
he thought it was a joke.
Bomb, bomb. Bomb, bomb. I'm looking around. I was expecting something just tremendously complex. And it's almost like chopsticks.
Williams had a different idea, to characterize the shark, which isn't a scheming supervillain. He wanted something brainless, to grab you in your gut, not in your brain.
What we are dealing with here is a perfect engine, an eating machine.
So he wrote a very short ostinato, a melody that repeats. Simplicity makes it adaptable. It can change at any point, which makes it unpredictable.
Bum, 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 bum.
Which gives you what the score is famous for, and this is a big one, the spatial perceptive function. The idea that music guides you to where something is within a film's space. In other words, the shark theme tells you where the shark is. Even Mr. Krabs knows what it means.
Oh no. SpongeBob, quick, reel it in! Can't you hear the music? That's a 4/4 string ostinato in D minor! Every sailor knows it means death!
And this concept is really important because most of the film, you can't see the shark. Dr. Audicino points out the music conveys both the horizontal and vertical axes. The tempo and dynamics tell us where the shark is moving, while the orchestration density tells us how close the shark is to the surface. It's thickest when he's at the top, pulling the whole pier. And when it dives down, the music fades to just the bass. The spatial perceptive function also tells you when the shark isn't around. You get the shark's POV, then mass panic at the sight of a shark fin when it's revealed it was a fake. But the shark theme never appears. There's no music at all until Brody starts racing to save his kid from the real shark. Setting up that the shark theme always prefaces the shark also makes for the biggest surprise, which is quiet until after we see the shark, filling the space of Brody's shock until he finds his words.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Music also controls your perception of time,
Great Scott!
which is called the temporal perceptive function. The suite from Jaws starts at 54 beats per minute, less than a beat per second. It feels slow and ominous. You feel the shark lurking. Suddenly, the tempo doubles. You feel the shark accelerating. The same happens during attacks in the movie. The camera shows the shark's POV, lurking around with the theme played slow. Then suddenly, and since you can't see the shark, the pace of the music uses the temporal perceptive function to tell you how worried you should be. Last is the emotive function, which means it tells you how to feel. Jaws is a horror movie, but the score isn't all dread all the time. Williams saw the lighter parts of the movie and viewed it as a nautical adventure and scored it as such. A sea shanty-like tune contrasts with the ominous shark theme. Lighter moments make the intensity of the score hit harder. The emotive function controls the feeling before, during, and after the attacks. Even when there's nothing there, you feel it. Spielberg attributes the score to what made the shark puppet so frightening, and credits half the success of the movie to the score. John Williams' idea sounded like a joke, but there's a reason they went through with it.
Why didn't you say no?
Because you kept saying, listen to it again.
Okay.
You said, listen to it again. And I started to see the brilliance of what you had done.
Spielberg listened. For more on the collaborations of John Williams and Steven Spielberg, check out this playlist breaking down Catch Me If You Can and Indiana Jones. Thanks for watching.